Someone can want you and desire you, but never actually fully choose you. Wanting is easy. Choosing someone requires courage and action and devotion. So today we're going to dive into the difference. Okay, this is a hot topic lately. It's been coming up in my orbit. It's been coming up for clients. And I think it's been a theme for quite a while now, especially for those of you that have been here on YouTube with me for many years. There is a huge difference between fantasizing about someone and maybe lusting after them and sort of putting their potential on a pedestal versus like actually creating a plan to choose something or creating the conditions in your life to be someone who will be chosen. Because a lot of us think that like the fault is of the other person, like, oh, they're non-committal. Oh, they don't want to have a real relationship. Oh, they're just a player. Oh, they're just flaky. Oh, they're just indecisive. The truth of the matter is that whatever you're attracting is a mirror. I know it is a very hard pill to swallow. This was a tough one for me too. For those of us that have been in the sort of personal development sphere and spiritual community for a while, it's really hard sometimes to look and see that year after year, you keep attracting the same shit, even though you're doing work, even though you're, exploring yourself and your psyche and you're in the astral plane and everything else. It's like, why am I still attracting inconsistent partners? Why am I still attracting unavailable people? Why am I still attracting third-party energy? All right, so let's break this down a little bit more. Again, what you want is not necessarily what you're going to take action to create. So first and foremost, you have to understand, like, what do you really value? This is a question I ask every client, particularly when they come to me about intimacy, which is what most people still come to me for. If we're talking about relationship and you're like, I want a committed, monogamous, devoted, spiritual partnership. I want big love. I want passionate love. I want spiritual connection with my lover. All right. Amazing. First thing you got to do is look at your life and be like, what am I prioritizing? Because if you say that you want that, what are you actually doing? Because what you say you want and what you're actually doing need to match. In Buddhism, the way to create a result is to create a cause. The cause will always be similar to what you get later. So if you want devotion and you want commitment, but you lack those qualities yourself, you're not committing to things fully. And I'm not just talking about a partner. I'm talking about projects in your life, dreams, goals, other types of relationships like family or platonic friendships, business endeavors. Like, where do you still have one foot out the door? And this can be very sneaky because I've had to explore this year after year as well. Where do I still try in some subtle way to keep another door open, to always have sort of in the back of my mind, maybe a plan B or some other option, or, I can leave at any point. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, this can be definitely something very hard to see yourself. Sometimes we don't see our blind spots. So I always ask people, like, what do you really value? If you value commitment and you're not all in on things, then that's like the first thing. The second thing is to really explore what you're engaging in that doesn't match up with what you say that you desire. If you want commitment and monogamy and faithfulness, and you're still messing around and entertaining people that don't value that cheat, that lie, that are already in a relationship, no matter how unhappy they are. Because I do understand the compassionate part of you, the empath in you, the part of you that thinks, yeah, people will change. And some people do change because we can change. Like, people change because it's coming from you. Like in Buddhism, it's all coming from you, actually. So yes, of course people can transform, but you have to change first. So if you're still entertaining like third-party energies or people that are non-committal or people that flake in and out and they're hot and cold and they're push and pull, that's on you. That's on you. That's where you have to start to clean it up. And it's hard. It's like an addiction. It's literally like drugs. Ask me how I know. There's something really addictive and seductive in being wanted. There's something really sexy about being desired. But over time, the more that you want something real, it's going to get on your nerves. It's going to actually start to have the opposite effect. Like, it won't have the draw and the pull that it used to, because when you start to realize you got to separate like fantasy from what it is that you actually desire and reality, And like fantasy is safe, you guys. You're not going to get hurt there. Being desired by someone unavailable or you desiring someone that's, if you're unavailable or whatever the case may be, it's a form of escapism. It's a form of avoidance. It's literally a drug. It's like a way to tap out of your reality, the one you don't like, and sort of exist in this fantasy realm where nobody has to take a risk, nobody's feelings are going to get hurt, no one's going to get rejected, no one's going to have to make any sacrifices, nobody's going to have to take any losses. When I started on YouTube and we were talking about, conscious relationship, a lot of people were in that category. They were in fantasy, but they weren't in reality. And when you start to ground these things into reality and you recognize, oh, wow, the person that I want is married with 5 kids and has no plans on leaving. Oh, but they're my twin flame. Well, guess what? I'm not saying that that's not the case. I'm just saying, let's be realistic. If you're creating the causes to remain in a fantasy realm and not bring that desired, reality into fruition, that's on you. So you have to stop entertaining people who are married, for example, or who are not available, or who have a pattern of not committing, and understand that that's your mirror. So it's like you have to almost separate what it is that you want from maybe the person or the thing that you want temporarily. Because what can happen is that as you shift your energy and you start to embody more of the qualities of commitment, of devotion, of actually sticking to things before you get a result, of committing to things before you get the proof that it's going to happen. Another hard thing that people struggle with here in terms of like desiring someone is that they're like, well, I don't want to put all my eggs in that basket if I can't guarantee that they're going to choose me later. You guys, there is no guarantee. All you can do is create the conditions to be someone who is fully chosen. And how do you do that? Like I said, you have to embody the qualities in mind, body, speech. So like I said, first thing to ask yourself, what do I truly value? If I value honesty in a relationship, I cannot be lying or engaging with people who are lying. Stop. Like, that's where you've got to cut the shit. I'm very good at helping you do that. I do it quickly, you guys. It's surgical. I get in there very fast. We're going to identify what's going on if you work with me one-to-one, okay? The second thing, like I said, what are your energy leaks? Where are you not saying and doing the same thing? Those have to line up. I want to be with someone who's faithful. Why are you still texting someone who's married? Why are you still lusting after the guy who's got a girlfriend or the girl who's got a boyfriend or whatever? Why are you still trying to get someone to choose you who's impossible and unavailable right now? It's a core wound that person's pressing on. And that core wound that you're trying to fix through the unavailable person or through the unavailable thing, that's what you've got to recognize. Because what you desire is valid. And if you want it, there's a reason why you want it. But wanting something, and like I said, starting to actually align your life properly so that that thing can happen are two totally different things. And that's where I love to get in and support people. Because again, an energy leak for most of the people that I used to talk to when they were calling me for one-to-ones on, like when they were finding me on my YouTube channel around the conscious relationship stuff, most people were already in a third party situation. So like either both parties, them and the person they wanted, were already in a relationship with someone else, or one of them was single and the other one was in a relationship, and they're like, but it's my soulmate, but it's meant to be. And I'm not saying that that's not true. I'm saying if you've attracted a person who's already tied up with somebody else and then you lust after them and fantasize about them for a decade, but nothing's actually changing, then that's your responsibility to start to change your life so that, like I said, the conditions can start to change around you, and then you can see what happens. I'm not promising anything, but in some cases what happens is that the person that was all tied up starts to clear out their life. But I can't promise you that. All I can say is that you have to create the causes for the results that you want. Like produces like, And like I said, I think the hardest thing for people to recognize is where they're not all in. Because like I said, it's sneaky. It's really sneaky. If you want devotion, you have to stop accepting the little breadcrumbs that you get. A lot of people want to be desired. Like I said, it's very seductive to feel desired, but over time it's going to wear you out, because when someone wants you, but they never come to get you, they never want to actually fully be with you, it wears on your self-esteem. You start to feel unworthy. You start to be like you start to take it personally. Oh, this person says that they're super attracted to me. This person's telling me you're the love of my life. This person's saying, I want you so bad. And then you're sitting there looking like, why the fuck haven't you changed anything? Year after year, here we are. Same shit, different day. People still tied up in other things, people not making you a priority. Why? Because they're not making themselves and their dreams a priority. Again, it's all a mirror. So I know that for me personally, when this was happening, I had to recognize that, again, being wanted and being chosen are not the same thing. A lot of people will want you because it's a way for them to express and channel some sexual energy, some emotional energy with no risk, with no sacrifice, with no loss. And again, it gets boring after a while because you're like, well, you're not getting your needs met. But some people can ride on that breadcrumb for a really long time, and they only need a little hit, every so often, and it keeps them going, and vice versa, And I understand that if you lacked attention and love in your childhood, like, you will be drawn to people who breadcrumb you. You will be drawn to people who are unavailable. You will be drawn to people who don't commit to you. You will be drawn to people who settle in very mediocre situations and then say that you're the one that they want, but never actually take the steps to come and be with you. And like I said, over time, it gets old. It gets so old, you guys. I promise. If you heal, if you understand that a person that's unavailable can't meet your needs, so you have to meet your needs. You have to choose yourself. You have to make your desires a priority. You have to reverse engineer all of this. And then you start to see your reality shift. Many years ago, I was surrounded by people who were cheating and in third-party situations. And now I look around and I see so many people in beautiful, happy, committed, devoted partnerships. I can think of like 10 off the top of my head. That did not used to be the case, but I know that in my mind, I changed how I was perceiving things. I changed my behavior. I meditated, I did the work, and now my reality has changed. Now, I'm not saying that I don't see that other stuff too, but I don't see as much of it. I see a lot more of the type of connection that I always wanted and that my clients want. So to me, I understand that we create the reality, and what's in your orbit is what's going on within you. So I know how painful it is to, like I said, be wanted and not chosen. But I'm here to tell you right now that you're the one that has to start to make those shifts internally. And then you start to see, like I said, cause and effect. Every cause creates a result in Buddhism, and the result is bigger than the cause. And the result's always like the cause, like produces like. So again, you start to become the person that you want. If you want to be fully chosen, one, you got to fully choose yourself. You have to prioritize your own needs. You have to start to do these things for yourself. No partner is going to boost your self-esteem permanently. The happiness doesn't come from them. If it did, then everyone that had a partner would be secure. Everyone that had a partner would be confident. Everyone that had a partner would be infinitely happy. And we know that that's not true. Like, you have to create the causes, water them, nurture them, and do it without the person there. That's how you start to become very magnetic. The more that you don't need it, you can want something and also understand it's not coming from them, it's coming from me. You are the king or queen or whatever of your own radiance, of your own magnetism, of your own sensuality, of your own erotic aliveness. It's up to you. That has to be a priority for you. I've noticed that as I decentered men for a while and realized it's not coming from them. Their validation is not ultimately what I need. What I need is to do this for me. And I need to create that type of frequency within myself and just send it out. Like, just be the thing that I want. Like, be the rose and then let the bumblebees come to you. That is what will happen. Your energy will shift. But like I said, you got to start where you're at. You know what I mean? And take it one step at a time. And like I said, where are you half in, half out still? You've got to really investigate that. Where are you still keeping one foot out the door? I mean, there are a lot of people who get into partnerships and relationships and they still mentally, no matter whether they're married, whether they've been in a long-term commitment, whether they live together for ages, maybe they're not married on paper, it doesn't matter. It's like they're together, but mentally or emotionally, they still have one foot out the door. There are lots of people like that, you guys. Getting married don't mean shit. You can be married and be absolutely checked out. You're married or you're with someone and you're not there. You are not present. You're not emotionally present. You're not spiritually present. There's plenty of people like that. So just wanting commitment isn't even enough. It's like, if you want someone who's energetically, emotionally, mentally, physically, sensually invested in you and only you, you have to do that for you. You have to be all that for yourself first. I had to, like I said, decenter men, stop sleeping with people, stop dating. I literally went on a hiatus. I was like, I'm going on a hiatus from men. no more. No dating, no sex, no nothing for 8 years. I actually did it for years because it took me that long to draw back my energy, to focus my attention on myself and my spiritual path, and not in a selfish way, in a smart way. I was like, I'm going to have to become what I want. And since I want big love and I want big partnership in the sense of like a very intense and profound and powerful connection, I better understand that I'm responsible to hold that energy on my own before the person will arrive. And then together, if we become the sun and it's that big, I'm going to have to be able to hold that energy both on my own and with another person when it shows up. So I better increase my strength. Do you know what I mean? Like mentally, physically, emotionally. I had to really do that work. And when I detached for a long period of time, it like helped me heal the addiction that I had, because it was an addiction. I have an obsessive personality and I get very obsessed. So if I like someone, I'm obsessed with them. And I realized like the obsession was getting in the way of my own priorities. I needed to center me and my dreams and goals and energy and well-being. And then once I was doing that more in a healthier way, let's say, I could attract a person who's intense like me, but who also takes care of themselves so that they can fill my cup and I can fill their cup. But we're not coming from depletion. We're not coming from scarcity. We're not coming from lack. We're coming from overflow. All right. So this is like we're being fully chosen. Like you have to literally start doing that in all the areas of your life, choosing yourself, choosing your path, choosing your health, choosing your emotional health, physical health, spiritual health, all of it, and make it a priority. I'm not saying you have to be perfect. You might meet someone early on and have to do the work together. Like everyone's path is different. What I'm saying is that you have to commit and stay before you have proof. You have to commit to things before you know if it's going to work out. You have to take a risk and go all in, even if you're afraid to get hurt, even if it may not last. That's how it works. That's the only way that you get something big. Like to be fully chosen in something, you have to literally throw yourself into it 100% without a guarantee. And this is where most people get stuck, and then they never fucking go for it, and then they never have the thing that they really want. And that's a shame, because you can create the thing that you want. So I'm going to leave you all with that today, since this was a hot topic this last couple of weeks. If you want to work together one-to-one, I definitely have new stuff coming in the new year. So there will be more. But right now you can work with me in an intuitive session. But I'm going to have like more relationship focused stuff coming in the new year. Don't worry, it's on its way. I've been working with people one-to-one right now to get a feel for where we're all at collectively and where I'm at as well. So new stuff is coming, but you can book a 60-minute intuitive session below. You can also add on a 30-minute like follow-up to that. You can't book the 30 minutes separately, but you can add it on. So that way we would meet twice, like in a shorter period of time, like within a couple, like 30 days. So feel free, the link to that is below. And like I said, this is something big that I love to work with people on. Devotion, going all in so that you can experience what it feels like to be fully chosen, to be devoted to be one of one for someone, and they're one of one for you. All right? I hope that this was helpful. I love you guys, and I will see you on the next one.